That was a big-time college basketball game. And Boise came ready to play, but so did the Aztecs. And I take great comfort in having 5 seniors in the starting lineup. And they make a coach look good. And these 2 guys next to me, 4-year starters in the program, 4-year seniors, have won a lot of timely games, and this was one of the most important ones. We put ourselves in a position to go to Vegas and try to win a conference title. And I couldn't be more proud of a team, their resolve and their toughness to beat a very good Boise team on our home floor on senior night.
Thank you so much, Coach. Up first, we have Jim Russell.
Coach, congrats on the win. This game was definitely a grinded-out game for you guys. Do you think that had anything to do with such a quick turnaround playing on Thursday night?
No, I thought we were ready. We had a really good walk through the day at 8 in the morning and spirited, and we were ready to go. But Boise's a good team, and they make things hard. And so a lot of the game looked disjointed, and that's because we guard hard. So it's 2 good teams knowing what each other's strengths are and doing a good job of trying to take it away. So it didn't look free-flowing or smooth, but it was beautiful to a coach.
And then at the end of the game there, I thought you guys executed really well. Do you think playing that close game on Thursday night helped you with the end-of-game situations today?
I think having good players helped us. And the last play of the game where we got a switch on a ball screen, they were fronting Nathan, and Matt had enough savvy and intelligence to get to the high post and deliver a perfect lob pass at game time. That's just players playing the right way and playing together, and I couldn't be more proud of that.
And then finally, Tomajic, he had such a great game today. Talk about his hustle, getting a bunch of offensive rebounds at such key moments of the game.
I just say playing hard is a skill. And Josh's greatest skill is he plays hard. And that means offensive rebounding. He pursues the ball. He trails in there. When the guard drives, he picks up timely baskets. And they were so important when he got them. And so Josh's play down the stretch was immeasurably important for our success today.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Jim. Up next, Mark Ziegler.
Coach, you've been in a lot of games and a lot of situations where you're up 3 inside 10 seconds to go. The decision to just decide to foul today. And I've seen you do it both ways.
Yeah, the game before that, we were up 3, but it was like 30 seconds ago. And so it's hard once the play started to foul. And they hit a couple step-back threes on us in the first game. This game, when we had the clock manageable, it was under 10 to start with, so we knew we were going to foul as soon as they crossed midcourt. And to our credit, I mean, that doesn't always work. It works when you make free throws, and both these guys sitting next to me made timely free throws in order to secure the win.
Question for Matt. Matt, you seemed to spend quite a bit of time in the trainer's table today. Were you just banged up, and what was up with it looked like your ankle was bothering you a little bit?
Yeah, it's just end of season bang ups and trying to work through little nagging just aches and pains. So it's just my previous ankle roll where I missed the first game of the series with San Jose. It's just kind of lingering, but I'm still pushing through and playing games. So I still feel effective on the court and still being able to play at an optimal level.
And on that play that Dutch was just talking about, the high-low to Nathan, what did you see from your vantage point out there?
Well, I'd been seeing it all game, and they were switching, and Trey was trying to get the ball in there. Tigo was trying to get the ball in there, even Jordan sometimes. So I thought my guy maybe not seeing me come from across the court to come high-low was just a wise idea. Nate, with the size and hands, touch around the rim.
So that was a little bit of a freelance on your part?
Entirely freelance. So I just broke off and tried to make a play.
Good question for is Jordan there too?
Yep.
Jordan, you're in foul trouble for much of this game. How do you sort of stay locked in mentally? You end up scoring 17 points. But what's kind of going through your mind when you picked up that third foul really early in the second half?
It's not hard to stay locked in a game like this with everything that's at stake. Just got to stay ready. Everyone off the bench stays ready, so that's just the nature of this team. We all just stay ready when our number's called. We go in and try to do the best we can do, so it's not really any different than that.
The last thing, in that late clock situation where they're fouling clearly, do you want the ball in that situation? Do you want to be the guy in the line?
Yeah, I'm confident in myself at the free throw line, no matter what time of the game it is. So I would love to.
Thanks.
Bryce, it's all you.
Okay, thanks. Can I start with Matt with one and then a couple for Dutch? Matt, what's it like in the first half, the nature of this game, there wasn't any flow at all. And then at the end of the second half, you know, there's a lot of trips to the free throw line, a lot of substitutions. How do you kind of fight through a game like this that's low scoring, there is no flow, and it's hard to get in rhythms?
I think the way to fight it is together. And as I said last game, we had adversity, and that was that game's adversity, and this was this game's adversity. So I think maybe a couple calls didn't go our way in the second half, and in the first half, the teams had each other flustered, and nobody could find a rhythm. So I just think fighting through it together, sticking, staying together is the thing we do best.
And for Dutch, same question basically. How do you work through a game that has very little rhythm?
I just told the guys at halftime, I don't think there's been more yelling from the bench in the first half in 2 or 3 years because they were switching defenses, pressing, then zoning, then manning, and we're yelling all the time. And I just said, we got to quit yelling and let you guys just be the players you are. Play in space, play intelligently, and don't let us take you out of the game. As much as we try to get them in the game, it was frustrating for everybody. But this team has a lot of resolve and grit, found a way to make timely plays and stops when we needed them, and came out with a really hard-fought victory.
Playing them in overtime the other day. This one's so tight at the end. It might not have been a Picasso, but what's it say about the toughness of your team to find a way to win both?
It just says over the past 2 years, we've been really hard to beat. And I think we're 49-6 over the last 2 years. And so as much as everybody loved last year's team, this year's team is very special. And they're a joy to coach, and hopefully our best basketball is still ahead of us.
Last one, there was a lot of talk about you guys, but you can't control the schedule, but playing the bottom of the Mountain West leading into the series. Now you just swept the top of the Mountain West. What does it mean that you haven't trailed in the second half of your last 10 games?
Because we hold ourselves to a high standard. You know, if we're playing the lower half, it's not who we're playing, it's how we're playing. And so sometimes we're upset with the team, even if we're up 10, 12, 14 points, because we know what lies ahead. And this was what lied ahead, a close game where we had to play well. And so it doesn't matter who we're playing or where we're playing, we're trying to play to our standard. And I think this team has embraced that and done a great job of it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Up next is Paul Garrison.
Hey, Coach. There was at one point a pretty big disparity in the number of fouls that were called. Did you address that at any point with the team? And if so, what was your message?
Boise was playing aggressive. They were driving the ball and creating contact, and they were doing a good job. And so eventually, like most games, it tilted a little bit. We ran Jordan along the baseline. They held him 1 or 2 times, bumped him. We started attacking on the dribble a little bit more and creating contact. And I always say college basketball is a hard game to officiate. And so Boise deserved every call they got, and hopefully we did too.
And then early in the year, Bobby Hurley talked about how impressive it was for your bigs to be able to guard guards out on the wing, and you can't ask them to do that. Could you just speak to their ability to play defense out on some pretty good wing plays?
It makes it special at the defensive end that Nathan and Josh or AG or Keshad can guard any position 1 through 5. And it gives us more flexibility defensively than most teams have. So we take great pride in that. The bigs take great pride in that, and they showed it again tonight.
Question for Matt, please. Matt, you've spoken all year about what's most important to you, which is winning. And on a night when your shot wasn't falling, you won. Could you reiterate that point and how you'll take this over a 40-point game anytime?
The W is in our side of the checkbox. So that's all that has really ever mattered to me being here at San Diego State in high school. Just over the course of my life, I found success through winning. And that's something we talk about as a team. Is success through winning and not one person shining. I don't think there's a lot of situations where there's going to be one person shining and the entire team is succeeding. So I see it best fit for everybody to be happy for each other and to go together.
And then, how important was it for you to be able to take on Alston on the defensive end?
Very important. I take all matchups personally, no matter who it is. I take every game personally. I take pride on the defensive end, on getting stops. And in the first game, seeing Alston get off kind of upset the entire team. And me being a leader on this team, and the way I see it, the leader on this team, I take that highly personally, and I take that fault to myself. And I took pride in my defense today for the entire time I was on the court.
Thank you. One more for Jordan, please. Jordan, great game today. How were you able to manage your emotions? Huge game, but it was a lot of it you had to sit out because you were in foul trouble. How were you able to manage your emotions to be able to be as effective as you were when you played?
Just being happy for my teammates. Not really a big deal to be on the bench with foul trouble. I shouldn't have been in foul trouble. I can control that. So not really anything that I can do. Just be happy for my teammates, and everybody was playing hard and playing well. So it was easy to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Up next is Marty Casno.
I have a question for both Matt and for Jordan, and it's kind of going off the question from Paul. How emotional was this game going in, your final game at Viejas, seeing your day and just knowing everything at stake, including controlling your own destiny in the Mountain West?
I mean, to be honest, it's not really that emotional without any people in the stands. They give a lot of energy. And, this game, everybody was energized because of what was at stake. We're playing a really good team, but the emotional part of it, the fans pouring, they're all out onto the court, wasn't there. So it wasn't really that emotional to me.
I'm going to say a question for Matt.
As Jordan said, I think some of the emotion is taken out of the gym when the fans aren't here. But at the same time, I think we're still happy for each other, and especially it being on senior night and Jordan and I last game in Viejas and putting all the blood, sweat, and tears that we did into this gym. So I think to some extent we do take a joy out of this, getting a W on our last game on this home floor. But at the same time, we're not done yet, and we're still going, so we can't get ahead of ourselves.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And we're going to give the last question to Mark Ziegler.
Couple for Dutch. Alston only had 7 points tonight. I think it was 2 of 12, 1 of 9 on threes. What, did you do anything differently, or did you just throw more bodies at him? What was your success tonight against him?
We played him just as hard the first night, but good players can score over good defense, and he bounced up and made some hard shots over us game one. He had some clean looks. It wasn't anything we did. He had a couple clean looks in the first half, especially, that just didn't go in for him. So he struggled through an uncharacteristic off-shooting night, and we benefited from that.